G'day friends, Franny here and welcome to your considered body strength practice. This is a low body focus class. We will be paying particular attention to our calves and our quads, but don't worry, nothing from the waist down gets neglected. Straight away, this is all standing, so that means we won't be lying down, we won't be sitting down, we will not be bearing weight on our hands. You will, however, need some wall space. We'll be doing a wall sit and a variation of calf raise. Because we're not coming down onto the ground, a mat is optional, but make sure your flooring is grippy and doesn't irritate your joints. You're also going to need a set of medium to heavy weights and a circle band. Listen to your body, make this your own, and I will be talking you through options as we go. Let's get started by stepping into our circle band and connecting our feet to the ground. So find a mountain stance. Feet are parallel and hips distance apart. There's a soft bend in your knees, your tailbone lengthens, your low belly firms, and your shoulders are nice and wide. Take a breath in through your nose and let go a big sigh. We're just going to start with the calf raise. So squeezing your calves, rise up onto the ball mounds of your feet without locking out your knees, and then slowly lower your heels back down to the ground. That's all it is. Rise up onto the balls of the feet, find that contraction of your calves at the top, and then slowly lower back down to the ground without falling down. Keep it going. Try not to race through, but know that you can pick up the pace, moving only as fast that you're not throwing off your balance. Our intention here is to create stability from the ground up. Big contraction at the top. Not locking out your knees, not thrusting your hips forward. Finding that sense of grounded stability, even though we're testing our balance. Now we're going to keep going with that calf raise. Staying in our parallel stance, we're going to layer in a chair squat. So rise up onto the balls of the feet, squeeze your calves, lower down, then reach your seat back, extend your arms forward, find your depth, and then push into the ground, come up to standing. Keep it going. Lift, lower, squat, belly firm, chest up, and then rise. You can bring your hands onto your hips, or at prayer at heart center, if that serves you better in this moment. With the band around our thighs, it's not doing a whole lot yet, but I still want you to find this subtle press out as you drop into your chair. Only reach your butt back as far as you can maintain a lifting of your chest. We're not folding forward or rounding over our legs here. Low belly's firm, pubic bone towards your navel, collarbones wide, chest proud. Let's do one more calf raise. And then next time you sit into your chair, just sit and hold right there. Find a lengthening of your tailbone down towards the back edge of your mat if you're on one. Find that press out of your outer thighs into your band. Shift a little bit more weight into your heels. Maybe you can drop your seat a fraction lower, but not your chest. Keep it tall, keep it proud. Pull your rib cage towards your back. And then just tune in here. Notice where you're feeling resistance, where you're feeling challenge. Notice where you're feeling ease. Even though we're bracing through our abdomen, can you find this smoothness to your breath? Keep on breathing here. We're coming up to standing for a standing clam in 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Come on up. Find that parallel stance once again. Soft bend in your knees. Shift your weight onto your left leg and then bend your right knee to a 90 degrees. Start to lift your right leg laterally without your pelvis shifting position too dramatically, and then slowly lower back in. So using our glute min, our glute med to lift our leg, and then slowly releasing the contraction as you come back through center. Be generous with the bend in your left knee. to create that stability. So we're not locking out through the joints, but using the contraction of our muscles to hold ourselves in space. Maybe you bring your hands onto your low abdomen to feel the engagement of your transverse abdominal wall. That's that strong brace pulling in, creating intra-abdominal pressure. Both legs are working to stabilize here. Breathe into what you feel. We've got 5 more seconds on this side before we switch it over. Last rep. Finish it nice and slowly, and then shift sides. Weight onto your right leg, soft bend in the back of the knee, left knee pulls to a 90 degrees. Slowly lift your left leg out laterally. It's not about how high it comes, but it's about moving with control and feeling the contraction, feeling the work. And then lower back down in. Lift and lower. And hey, you've got plenty of wall space available. That's how you set yourself up. So if you need to grab a hold onto it for a little bit more balance support, go right there. Our focus in this movement isn't balancing on one leg, but rather the contraction that we're creating at the outer edges of both hips. Your left hip to initiate the movement, to take the leg lateral, and the right leg to stabilize. These muscles will be supporting us once we pick up our weights and move into our single leg or our unilateral postures, like our single leg RDL and our lunge. 2 more reps here, less than 10 seconds. Last one. Nice job. Come on up, little wiggle if you need. And we're gonna head to that wall space. We're starting with a wall sit. So, come stand in front of your wall. The back of your head, the back of your shoulders, and the back of your butt are touching. Slowly walk your feet out and then slide your back down the wall. Your knees are at a 90 degrees, so they're parallel to the floor. They're stacked directly over your ankles and your feet are parallel. If there's any tension in the joints, play with your stance. If the wall sit doesn't work for you, come on up and then head right back into your chair squat instead. Try not to press your low back into the wall. We want to maintain a neutral spine, so there's that subtle sway in your lumbar spine, your low back. So think your sacrum, your shoulder blades, and the back of your head are touching here. Maybe you extend your arms out in front of you. Maybe you bring your hands across your chest. Try to avoid pressing your hands into your lap because it takes some of the work out of your legs. Subtle press of outer thighs into the band. Don't let them cave in. Notice where you're pushing into your foot. See if you can shift a little bit more of that pressure into your heels. Breathe. This is an isometric contraction for our low body. Your quads are loaded up. Your glutes are on, and your core is working hard to maintain neutral spine. 5, 4, we're coming to our wall for our calf waves. In 1, nice job. Take your time as you press yourself up. Now, find your wall space here. Bring your hands in front of your shoulders like you were holding a plank. Walk your feet back like you were holding a plank. Your heels are lifted, but they're still sinking down towards the ground. So you're gonna feel a stretch in your calves here. Just like in a plank, soft bend in the eyes of the elbows, soft bend in your knees. Your heels, again, they're not touching the ground. You're feeling that stretch through the back line of your body. Just like we did in our warm-up, slowly start to rise up onto the balls of the feet. That movement's created by the squeezing of your calves, and then lower back down, feeling the stretch. Keep it going, lift and lower. Now, just like you're holding a plank through your trunk, head, shoulders, and hips are in one straight line. Your low belly is firm. Really feeling that pumping motion through your calves and that good stretch every time you reach your heels down towards the ground. Now you might adjust your stance at any time. You might come a little closer to the wall. You might step a little bit further away. The further away you go, the more challenging it might be, the more load you will create. Again, not rushing through, not letting your heels fall or drop, but rather lowering with control. And then big squeeze, powerful contraction. Maybe you hold for a moment before lowering again. We have about 5 more seconds. Give me 2 more reps. Give yourself 2 more reps. And then come on up to stand. Nice job. Take a moment, shake it out. We're into a second round of wall sit. So when you're ready, slide yourself down. Knees over ankles, feet face forward, thighs parallel to the ground. S-curve in your spine. Back of head, back of shoulder blades, back of sacrum. They're in contact with the wall. Everything else is engaged and light. Find a placement with your hands that helps you best ground and connect to the present moment. Don't tune anything out here. Breathe into it. Dig a little deeper into your heels. Keep your toes light, but use them to grip the floor like you're standing on jam jars. Feeling that little bit more outwards pressure into your band. Last 5, 4, we're heading back to our calf raises in 3, 2, 1. Stand on up, quick transition, hands in front of your shoulders, walk your feet back. Keep the soft bend in the eyes of your elbows and the backs of your knees. Heels reach towards the ground without touching. Feel the stretch through your calves, through your hamstrings. Okay, let's go. Lift up, pause at the top, and then slowly lower through the eccentric phase. Big squeeze, pause at the top, and lower back down. With all that work going on in your lower half, try not to hold any tension through your shoulders, keeping the back of your neck long, and your scapula anchored and wide, not shrugging up towards your ears. Now, we have about 30 seconds left here. I encourage you to explore your pace. Maybe moving slowly is exactly where you need to be right now, or maybe you start to speed things up and know it's not a race. If you're going to linger somewhere, I encourage you to linger at the top when you're high on the balls of your feet, really leaning into the contraction. 10 more seconds. Breathe. You got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Walk your feet in towards the wall. Stand on up. We're going to slide off our band. Set it to the side and pick up your weights with bent knees and a flat back. We're starting with a staggered RDL. Right leg forward, left leg is your kickstand, so your left big toe is in line with your right heel. Soft bend in both knees, but you'll notice your left leg is a little bit more staggered. Weights in your hands, knuckles on your thighs. Tailbone long, low belly firm, shoulder blades anchored, collarbones wide. As you inhale, start to hinge from your hips. Your knees do not bend any further. Your torso lowers till it's parallel to the ground, no lower. And then big squeeze of your glute and hamstring on your right side as you push the floor away and rise up. Keep it going. Hinge, like someone who's pulling your hip creases back, keeping your upper back really engaged so there's no rounding across your chest. And then big push as you rise. Again, just like the calf raise, finding the pace that works best for you, knowing it's not a race. The slower you move, the more control, the more muscle engagement you can concentrate on. Using your inhale as you lower, and your exhale as you rise. But of course, finding a pace to your breath that serves you best. Can you find that little bit more awareness in between your shoulder blades? Yeah, pack your scaps into your back pockets. Really dig into your forward heel, just like we did in our wall sit. We've just got 1 more repetition, and then we're gonna step our left leg back for a reverse lunge. This is your last one. You can keep your weights by your side or bring them to your chest or rack them on your shoulders here. Step your left leg back, both knees bend. Front thigh comes parallel to the ground. Back knee hovers just below your hip, and then push into your front foot, come up to standing. Keep it going. Left leg lunges back, but the work is in your right side. Push into your heel to lift up. It's almost like you're doing a one-legged stair climb here. And if you've got your weights down by your side like I do, you've got some heavy shopping bags as well. The power is coming from your front heel as you drive to lift, but your toes are working here to help stabilize, gripping the ground. Can you feel the work in your right calf that's helping to stabilize your knee joint? And your knee joint is then helping to stabilize everything above. That's why training our calves is so important. Inhale as you lunge back. Exhale, dig, push, lift. Take 2 more, and then we're gonna find a squat to flush it out. This is your last one. Lift on up. Feet slightly wider than your hips. Maybe you rack your shoulders or rack your weights on your shoulders or bring them to your chest here. Slight external rotation of your feet. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. Just like in our wall sit. Just like in our reverse lunge. Can you find the depth that your thighs come parallel to the ground? You can imagine that you still have that circle band wrapped around your thighs and you're actively trying to stretch the band wide. Gripping the floor with your feet, not allowing your arches to collapse, but rather pulling them away from the earth, and that will create more engagement through the inseams of your leg, even connecting to your deep core, your pelvic floor. Chest stays up as your hips reach back. Exhale as you rise. Chest stays proud, shoulder blades anchored. Calm and assertive in that powerful posture at the top. This is your last one. Okay, side 2, let's do it. Left leg forward, right leg your kickstand for your staggered stance RDL. Knuckles on your thighs, shoulder blades anchored and wide, firm through your low belly. Inhale as you hinge, hip creases pull back, torso doesn't come lower than parallel to the ground. Feel the load in your left side glute and hamstring, and then plug into your front foot to lift yourself up. No thrusting of your hips at the top. Keep it going. Hinge, slowly lower. Squeeze your shoulder blades, squeeze your armpits, and then big push. So your right leg, your kickstand leg, that's just your balance support right now. Like a bike stand on a bike. We're really driving through our front heel. But again, your toes, they're not passive, they're gripping the ground. Not only building strength, but stability in our lower half. Taking care of our joints so that our joints may take care of us as we move through life. Low belly firm, try not to increase the sway through your low back. Keep pulling your pubic bone towards your navel. Keep pulling your sternum forward to broaden your chest. We got 1 more rep, and then we lunge back with our right leg. Nice job. Weights by your side, rack them on your shoulders or bring them to your chest. Right leg lunges back, right knee drops below your hip, left knee stacks over your ankle. Maybe there's a slight forward tracking, and then push into your forward leg as you rise to stand, squeezing your inner thighs, squeezing your low abs. Lunge back, lift up. Now, if your balance is a little off, you can always hold the step back and lower and lift instead. Again, our goal here isn't just to stand on one leg, but rather to properly engage, ignite, and become aware of the muscles that are working for us in this moment. It's not about what it looks like, it's about how it feels. So making whatever adjustments you need to best support your body, because you're learning here. You're not expected to get it right the first time. This is a practice like any other. Spine stays relatively upright. We have 2 more reps. Really drive into your front leg. This is your last one. And then we find our squat once again. Weights to your shoulders or at your chest. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. Again, imagine the band is around your thighs. Actively try and push that band that little bit wider. Creating tension like a coiled spring. Try not to stick your butt out as you lower, but rather keep tailbone long, pubic bone pulling towards your navel. Loading as you lengthen, and then big squeeze, contraction as you drive. We have 30 more seconds here in this squat with our weights before we're heading back to finish this off strong and stable with our wall combination. Take a moment to acknowledge where you are right here, right now, showing up, working hard for your body. Super productive. This is your last one. All right, set your weights down carefully with bent knees and a flat back. Option to slide your circle band on once again. It's just an option. And then we're gonna head for our calf raise at the wall. Hands in front of your shoulders, walk your feet back, sink your heels down so they're at a hover. Firm through your low belly, soft knees, soft elbows. Let's go. Lift your heels away from the ground. Feel the contraction just below the backs of your knees, and then lower with control. Keep it going. This is your third time here. What's something new you can discover? Breathe. Maybe you slow it down, or maybe you speed it up. This is your last little bit of work before we stretch it out. So can you tap into what you have in the tank, what's in your reserves? Be mindful of the time that you have left in your day off of your mat as well. This isn't about being depleted, but rather this is about being energized, more aware, and more connected to this incredible body that you have. Breathing through. We have about 15 seconds. Last little push here. A last little push for your calves. Last 5, 4, 3, embrace the shakes. 2, last one, can you pause at the top? Pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Lower your heels, step away from your wall. Find your wall sit. Last little bit of work. Find your chair. Knees over ankles, knees in line with hips. Hands somewhere you best connect. Feel your shoulder blades, your low back in contact with the wall. Feel your feet in contact with the floor. Distribute your weight evenly, but the majority of the push is coming from your heels. Press into your band if you've got it. Breathe. Of course, you always need to honor what your body needs in this moment. But where we really build that strength and that resilience is where we start to bump up against our edges. So if this feels hard, that's exactly where you need to be. The challenge is to stay with it while maintaining form, while maintaining a fluid, even breathing. And just know you've got 3, you've got 2, you got 1. Nice job. Stand on up. Whew. Shimmy out of that. Shimmy out of that band. That's why we practice stability. And then come to the middle of your mat. If you've got one, nice wide stance. Big inhale, lift up. And then lean up and over towards your left side. Maybe use your left hand to pull your right wrist. And then just start to lean all the way, tracing a circle. Come down into a forward fold. Soft bends in the backs of your knees, maybe a little bounce or sway. Before rising all the way up, lifting your arms and then leaning up and over to the right. Maybe your right hand slides down your thigh, or maybe you use it to clasp onto your left wrist. Big breath. And then slowly start to circle down towards your pinky toe and then through center into a fold. And then slowly start to rise up. Heel toe your feet back through center, finding a figure four chair. Again, you can use your wall space for balance, crossing your right ankle over your left leg, sinking your hips down and back, breathing into the outer edge of your right hip, your glute min, your glute med, those muscles that were working so hard with the circle band. And then maybe you lift up and then kickstand on your right heel and start to hinge your hips back, getting into your hamstring and your calf. Maybe you rest your hands on top of your left thigh. Maybe you find your hip creases or your frontal hips here. And then lifting on up, switching sides. Left ankle, figure four chair, crossing over your right leg, squatting into your right leg as you reach your hips back. Chest stays high. Breath, slowing down. Body's still warm, but temperature slowly starting to drop. And coming on up. And then kickstanding your left leg this time. Really feeling into the back of your calf as you hinge forward, not rounding forward or folding forward. Keeping that strong line to your spine and in your torso. And then starting to press yourself up. Finding that one wide parallel stance. Once again, big inhale, reach up tall. And then exhale, hinge, lower down, little swan dive. Sway, bending your knees generously from side to side. Maybe a little bit of a twisting motion through your spine as well. Whatever is calling you in this moment. And then slowly starting to rise back up, reaching up nice and wide. Hands find prayer. And then pulling your thumbs down towards your heart. Walking your feet in, finding this calm and assertive mountain stance. Feeling the energy moving through you, the warmth of your skin, the drumbeat deep inside your chest, the feedback from your muscles as well as from your mind. Offering a sense of gratitude to your body and to yourself for showing up, for working hard. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you again soon.